Hare Krishna. So I hope all of you enjoyed Dukkha again. So we'll proceed in our journey of understanding and meditating or journeying on the beautiful Vaishnava qualities which Lord Krishna is speaking in the 13th chapter. So today we'll continue on the 18 items of knowledge. How many items of knowledge we've covered till now? Humility. Yes, only one we have covered till now. Correct. The second variant of humility also is remaining. Rightlessness. So this is chapter 13, text 8 to 12. The 18 items of knowledge. Amanitvam adambhitvam ahimsa shantir arjavam acharyopasanam shocham स्थैर्यम् आत्मविनिग्रहः. So we had covered amanitvam in our first class. Today we are going to focus on most likely two qualities, arjavam and ahimsa. So the second line these two qualities come. Ahimsa, Shantir, Arjavam. So we'll start with Arjavam and then touch upon Ahimsa. That is our agenda for today's dive. Arjavam means simplicity. Let us see Srila Prabhupada's definition of Arjavam here in the purpose. So Prabhupada gives a one line but profound definition. Simplicity means that without diplomacy, one should be so straightforward that he can disclose the real truth even to an enemy. Simplicity means that without diplomacy, one should be so straightforward that he can disclose the real truth even to an enemy. Srila Prabhupada would stress on this principle of simple living and high thinking. High thinking requires simple living as a prerequisite. Why? Because if the life is complicated, whether the complication arises from mindset or whether the complication arises from accessories, if the life is complicated, then mind is entangled there. And thus mind is never able to come out. And therefore the fixity and focus on Krishna never takes place. So the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan, Srila Rupa Goswami, Srila Sanatana Goswami, Srila Raghunath Das Goswami, Srila Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, Srila Jiva Goswami, Gopala Bhatta Goswami, who are depicted here, 6 of them. They led a very, very simple life. But their consciousness was completely fixed. It is explained that they were roaming around forests of Vrindavan. Srinivas Acharya explains that. And they would be always calling out, Hira Nanda Suno Kuta. Although their mind will be completely absorbed in Vrindavan, in the mellows of Shri Radha and Krishna, but they led a very, very simple life. They would sleep under a different tree every day, so as not to harbor attachment even for a tree. So simplicity is a great virtue. Simplicity enables us, empowers us to take our consciousness to a very higher realm. Simplicity has three precise aspects, and we will touch upon them one by one. Yeah, we can remember them by the word simple itself. Three precise aspects which we can remember by the word simple. The first one is S. S stands for straightforwardness. This is what Srila Prabhupada is referring to. What does it mean? Srila Prabhupada says, without diplomacy. No diplomacy, no cunningness, no facades. Like this lady is having a facade in front of her, the mask, that lady is having. The different face to show to the world. The actual face is different face. This is diplomacy, duplicity. Similarly, you see this fellow on the right is so cunning, such a cunning fellow, He's see what a cunning fellow. So where from this understanding of straightforwardness? See, Radheshyam Prabhu explains very nicely. Radheshyam Prabhu explains that a devotee's heart should be innocent like a child. So the devotee's heart should be innocent like a child, It should not be khurafati, It should not be, it should be innocent like a child. So Radheshyam Prabhu says devotee should be childlike, not childish. You don't have to be childish, but the heart should be like childlike. So it should be childlike, not childish. As Shampoo says. So now what is so when the heart is childlike, then we will see that because the heart is very soft and the heart is childlike, any impressions which are favorable to Krishna consciousness will be imprinted very deep in the heart. See, children see everything in the whole world as a play. Everywhere is their playground, And very similarly, a devotee sees everywhere as a playground for Krishna Nam and Krishna Katha. So that's the point. And children, if anything wrong happens to them, very soon they'll forget it. They don't keep it in the heart. That's called as innocence. That's called as straightforwardness. So, Srila Prabhupada explains there are three things. So there is action or acts are one thing. Words are another thing, are a third thing. So thoughts, words, acts, they all should be in the same line. They all should be in the same line. That is called the simplicity, straightforwardness. That the thoughts, the words, and the acts should be in one straight line. Should be the same. That is called a straightforwardness. So this is very much opposed to the modern day idea. Modern day idea, people speak something, they think something else, and they act in a third way. So that's completely unpredictable personality. Yes, sir. What the person is speaking, what the person is thinking, what the person is speaking, he will not act accordingly. And thoughts and acts are not in one line also. What does that mean? That the person wants to do something but lands up doing something else. That means the unpredictability of this personality is not only for a third person. For oneself, one is unpredictable also. This is where the materialistic modern day civilization leads us to. That even for oneself, a person is unpredictable. So, what is this person going to do? He or she himself doesn't know. because because they have made themselves slave to the pushings and pullings of the mind and the senses and the anarthas. And therefore, the anarthas are raging high. And that's why the person himself or herself doesn't know how they are going to act. A very, very unfortunate position. But this is what materialistic life leads one to. Straightforwardness is completely opposite to that. Straightforwardness means thought, heart, words, deeds are the same line. Only when this alignment is done or there is a commitment toward this one straight line alignment, then what happens? Now I say, okay, what happens when there's inside out is all transparent? I mean, the person is acting, the person means it. The person is speaking, the person means it. The person is thinking, the person means it. So, what is that alignment or transparency leads us to? Actually, we see that the mental plane, the plane of the thoughts, is actually the causal plane. So the problems start, or whatever happens, it starts from the mind. It shoots up from the plane, the mental plane, the plane of the thoughts. And so it is the causal plane. Interestingly, although it is causal plane, it is not very easy to access it or get a handle of it. Everything comes out from there. It's a causal plane. So behavior is just an effect. Behavior is just an effect. Like somebody is a very angry fellow. A very angry fellow. Now, Mr. Control your behavior. But behavior is an effect. To control the behavior, mind has to be controlled. Thoughts have to be controlled. So why is an angry fellow? One of the reason may be that probably this person is harboring so much expectations from everyone else. Hey, this Prabhu should serve me, that Prabhu should serve me. Why are they not serving me? Why are they not taking my opinion? Why are they not appreciating me? So he has made 1008 expectations from everyone. Now, if you have 1000 expectations from other person, will you be happy, peaceful, Atma Rama, very peaceful in Samadhi, Will be agitated, no? Hey, you are not doing this? Still not doing this? I am here, Why is my, give me my expectations, That's what we expect everyone. And so we have 1000 expectations, the person is bound to be completely disturbed. The person is bound to be outrageous. But suppose if I have no expectations from the other person, then will I be angry? Can anyone make me angry? No, because I don't have any expectations only. So if I go somewhere and I don't have any expectations from them, so if they give me Mahaprasad, I'll be grateful. You know? But because I have no expectation, even if they say Hare Krishna and fold their hands, I'll be grateful for that also. Hare chalo, Hare Krishna bol diya. है ना? But because I have no expectations, even if they don't look at me, I'll be still grateful. Is it not? कि चलो लात मार के बाहर तो नहीं निकाला. Is it not? No? That also can be done. No? We go somewhere and they say, no, get out. No? That also can happen. So it is all about expectations. So that means what? The mind has to be controlled. Our thoughts, our desires have to be controlled. But the main problem is how to get a handle of the mind. Because the mind is so subtle, so subtle, so subtle, it doesn't come between the fingers. You cannot get a grip of it. It's not there. How do you get a grip of that? So to be able to get a grip of that, we need to do this tapasya exercise of straightforwardness. When the mind, the words and the deeds all come in one line, then everything starts, everything is heavyweight. Everything is heavyweight. Because, so then what happens is that one starts getting a handle to the mind. Otherwise, many times people take thoughts very casually. But when thoughts are put on a projector screen and displayed for the whole world, you know, through straightforwardness, then one will be carefully. ये क्या दिखा रहा हूँ मैं ना? Sorry. I do some washing and come back. So, is it not? This is the beauty of straightforwardness actually. So therefore, a person. So many times, so people try to put facades because they want to give license to the sinful or to the dirty thoughts which the people want to cherish and relish and keep it preserved in the hearts. So as soon as straightforwardness comes, everything flushes out. And therefore one can no longer keep dirty thoughts. So can no longer keep dirty thoughts. So immediately people will catch and say, hey, so bad, Prabhu, like that immediately people will catch it. So therefore, when there is straightforwardness, then in such a state, a person cannot harbor any malice for anybody. So modern world is what? People are smiling, my dear friend, I am there for you. I care for you, and people are, they appear to be so amicable, but inside their heart, they are conspiring how to exploit. How to exploit. They are conspiring how to exploit. Like in Calcutta, I was going down Winter Park Temple. On the way, there are big billboards below that flyover, that road. That big billboards are there. One of the billboards was showing a lady. This lady was smiling very nicely, inviting somebody, It's smiling very nicely. She said, please come, like that she was inviting, like that, And they had shown a side view of that lady. Front view was not there, side view. So she's inviting, in the side view you are saying she's inviting, But because the side view you are able to see behind also what's going on, She's inviting like that. One may say very nice, she's so loving and she's inviting, we can go, accept the invitation, like that. And the side view, the other hand was at the back, the other hand was at the back, side view. So in that hand there was a dagger, there was a dagger, like that. So very dangerous, no? So she's inviting to do what, Immediately she'll take out the dagger and kill the fellow. Very dangerous, That smile is very dangerous. This is what materialistic dealings are, is it not? So, so as soon as there is separation between the thought and the act level, immediately malice will breed, and one can keep breeding malice. One can keep breeding, breeding, breeding. And when it becomes too much, then a person becomes uncontrollable. It becomes too much, then a person becomes uncontrollable. And therefore, then it may lead to lot of troubles for oneself and for everyone. So Vedic times, you see, Vedic times are such a clean chit time. How and why you can see that, like Vedic times, people had very straight cut algorithms for whatever they want to do and whatever they were doing. In the Vedic times, the kings, they would be very peacefully sitting, even if their kingdom is as big as Kharagpur. Kharagpur is very big because there are how big it is. There are only two big things in Kharagpur. One is the railway station, in the railway platform. There's two platforms and one this thing. The other is IIT. That much big only is Kharagpur. So even if one kingdom is as big as Kharagpur and the king is very powerful, but his kingdom is only as big as Kharagpur, still the king will be sitting very quiet and peaceful. He's saying, okay, I've got some area, let me serve in that area. That's good enough. Very straight cut algorithms for everything. Not that I'm a very big man. I should be the number one, in the world ranking, the number one ruler in the world. No, I'll be very peaceful. Only when this king would get to know that the neighboring kingdom, that king has become sinful. He has given up dharma. Now this king will start getting ready. He said, oh, he has given up dharma? The neighboring kingdom people are not getting dharma? They are not the dharma is not being promoted. They are not being trained in dharma. Okay, prepare the armies. We will attack and take over that kingdom. What is the algorithm? The algorithm is not lust, greed, exploitation. The algorithm is dharma. Very straight cut algorithms. And that's what Lord Krishna is teaching Arjuna. Now Arjuna is having a lot of feelings here, there, and Krishna is telling first principle is dharma. Then you see, for the calling of dharma, you need to stand up for humanity, to protect the principles of dharma, to protect the citizens, and to teach a lesson to the adharmivadis. So therefore fights. So now, even when there is fight, like we see in the Kurukshetra, there is war, which is going on between the Pandavas and the Kauravas. Now war is going on. How the war starts? So first, so everybody, early morning they get up, chant around to Mangalarti. After Mangalarti they blow the conch shell. तो हम तो दर्शनार्थी conch shell बनाते हैं, वो युद्ध का conch shell बजा रहे थे ना. And then they would start fighting. They said, okay, चलो अभी fight करते हैं. माला हो गया, fight करते हैं ना. And they would keep fighting, till what time? Till Gaur Aarti, So evening Gaur Aarti, they would come back, and they would attend Gaur Aarti, and Gita class, and then they would be taking prasadam together and discussing, Hey, you did not fight good today, Like this you continue 3 days, some wound will come, like that, you better gear up, your morale is down, you better do some extra sadhana today and then come tomorrow. Like that they would be discussing with each other, and they would be discussing with each other, and one devotee would be, so he would bring some special Mahaprasad for his competitor. He said, you give a very nice fight today. I got really encouraged. Thank you. Take prasad, like that. Tomorrow again we'll fight. But right now we can enjoy Mahaprasad. Means what? No malice. No malice. No hatred, no envy, no... because the culture was so prominent, even demoniac personalities like Duryodhana were forced to follow some fractions of this kind of a behavior pattern. So that strong, that culture and tradition was there. Like you must have heard Radheshambhu was mentioning about this episode. The 5 arrows, because Duryodhana provoked Bhishmadev Bhishma Dev said, these 5 arrows, I am going to kill the 5 Pandavas tomorrow. Wait and watch. You know? And then he said, okay, give me the 5 arrows. You know? So he was keeping it like this, you know, or it doesn't go anywhere. And the 5 arrows. And Lord Krishna sent Arjuna. Interestingly, Arjuna himself was not knowing why is he going to ask for those 5 arrows. What is going to happen with those 5 arrows? He just followed the instructions. Radhishambhu is mentioning, right? And now he asked Duryodhana by mistake one time. He told Arjuna, whatever you want, I'll give you. Ask. Arjuna said, okay, I will encash it in time. Investment strategy, no? Arjuna was knowledgeable about investment strategy. Devotee is not, no? Devotee is very, devotee very intelligent. So Arjuna said, okay, I'll encash it. I'll invest it for now. So nice encashment, no? At the right time. So now Duryodhana, he was asked, now Duryodhana knows that, he could have won the battle. The next day everything would have been over. Chapter closed. 5 Pandavas gone, means chapter closed, no? Again, Mahabharata ka end ho gaya, na? So further chapter Duryodhana would have written. So therefore, so like that, and so therefore the Duryodhana was knowing, chapter would have been finished now, na? Everything is gone. So he is forced to give. Why? Vedic times was going on. So nowadays also we have demoniac personality like Duryodhana. Only the good thing is they don't have so much power as Duryodhana. Good for us. So otherwise very difficult. So Duryodhana was demoniac, very powerful, but he was in Vedic culture. So everything was still tamed a bit. At least a bit, is it not? So they would have some ethics. Even when Ashwatthama killed the 5 sons of the Pandavas viciously while they were sleeping, Duryodhana was so disgusted. He didn't like it. He said, shame on you, nonsense, get lost. Ashwatthama thought that he has done something very nice and very glorious. He had killed the 5 sons of the Pandavas. So, Duryodhana was disgusted. So, this is Vedic culture. You see, the Vedic culture, the tradition is such that it does not promote malice. It does not promote hatred. It does not promote envy. So, even if one is having some wrong tendencies, those tendencies are curbed by that culture. And that is why it is said that to reinforce our devotional attitude, it is very important to stay in a devotional environment, in a spiritually vibrant environment, because that environment creates such a culture that malice, hatred cannot breed. So even if those tendencies come very easily and very quickly, they will be cured, operated. It won't be so easy to blurt oneself or exert oneself. Like in a devotee culture, to even look at devotees with angry eyes, is rare. What to say of verbally speaking, very, very rare. And physically, extremely rare. So, but outside circle, first physical, people first become physical. Commonly you can see in trains here, there, everywhere. One person just standing, another person, his poor fellow is going to his seat, he happens to brush or bang against this person. Now he's saying sorry, the other person is saying, hey, sorry. So he's not hearing sorry. No? He's saying, अरे ऐसे कैसे चलते हो अंधे हो क्या ना? No. And then they start fighting with each other. Sometimes people start fighting on a seat in the train. Or sometimes they just start fighting because they know there's no other activity to do. Yeah. So there's no other activity to do. So two people are fighting, 50 people are watching. Very common scene. And they are catching each other's collars, and and they're so you see, it's a perpetually agitated species, materialistic person. And but when it comes to a devotee, the perpetually calm species, the calm, peaceful, uh, the calm and peaceful. So the culture has a great impact. Vedic culture is showing such such a wonderful example. So the straightforwardness. Yeah, the beautiful example of Dronacharya comes in Mahabharata. Now Dronacharya, very amazing personality. He's a Brahmana. And as a Brahmana, he has such a great character, such a great adherence to the principles of Brahmanism. One of the principles of Brahmanism is forgiveness. Very forgiving. No malice. So there is a very beautiful episode which explains about this virtue of straightforwardness, and what it means to have a simple heart. Jai Shri Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra Maharani, Sudarshan Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Haribo. So Dronacharya and Drishtadyumna's father, what is his name? Drupad. They were thick friends while they were in the Gurukul. They were very thick friends. But Drupad was the son of a Kshatriya and Dronacharya was a poor Brahmana. And Dronacharya would ask, friend, you'll go back, you'll become king, will you forget me? He said, no. How can I forget you? Anytime, such a friendship, my life is there for you. So Dronacharya said, oh, thank you, you're such a dear friend, my best friend, thick best friend. So anyways, they passed out, and because they had different jobs, so they explored different trajectories. By the way, Dronacharya did not get placed. In his branch, the placements were not very high, it seems. So he didn't get a job offer, So therefore, he was very poor. He was very poor, very simple. He did not get any job. But Drupad was having pre-placement offer. He had a PPO. Immediately he went, he became a king. Like that. And Dronacharya was not getting placed, and time was passing, months were passing. But because he was a Brahmanical person, he was handling the situation. At one point of time, he thought, he just remembered his friend. He said, many years have passed. My friend Drupad has become Chakravarti Samrat. I have not seen him for a long time. Maybe I can go and see him. And he's become so powerful. And he's my dear friend. Maybe I can ask him some help, a little bit, some seed funding. No. Nothing else, at least some seed funding, with an equity share. Right? So, Dronacharya Brahmana, he had a lot of entrepreneurship ideas, So he thought, okay, at least I can pitch some ideas and see if something I can get. At least some help I can get a little bit. So he went, but he was not even allowed to pitch. So Drupad just shooed him off. He said, get lost. Dronacharya kept saying, hey, I am same person. You see, my previous photograph, this photograph, there are a lot of face matching algorithms, results are there. Drupad said, no, I don't care. Get lost. Friendship is between equals. Not between Raja and Ran. How do you go? Dronacharya felt, okay, what can be done? He was concerned, my friend has become too intoxicated. He thought, okay, I will help my friend, come back on track sometime if I am able to. Anyhow, life is never the same, you know. There is a saying which says, no, every dog has his day. At least one day, So good times immediately came for Dronacharya. He got job. You know? He got job. What was the job? The job was to teach, to be a teacher, for the Kurus. So got a very good job offer, He was jobless. Now he has got Google, something like that. The Kurus were very high in ranking at that point. So he became the teacher of the Pandavas and the Kauravas both. And years he was investing, in training and teaching. So it was the time of Guru Dakshana, the felicitation. And the Pandavas, they said, Gurudev, what do you want? Anything in the entire world. And he said, okay, Drupad. So the Pandavas went effortlessly, caught him and brought him and threw him in front of him. The Pandavas said, okay, now shall we behead him? How many pieces he cut his body? So now you see, when it came to Drupad, he had insulted very badly and madly. Now Drupad was in a helpless situation. He was bound. The Pandavas and the Pandavas are ready to cut him off to pieces. Dronacharya said, no, I don't want to give him any harm. He said, release him. No, release him. So they released his ropes and all. And Dronacharya said, my dear friend, you had got intoxicated. I only please, you see, that time you had thrown me off saying, that friendship is between equals. Now I am king, you are a beggar now. So all these positions are temporary. Why don't you accept this? And be humble, not be intoxicated. He said, anyways, I am not interested in kingdom and other affairs. You take back your kingdom. I just wanted to appeal to you and teach you a lesson. That's all I wanted to do. So he left him. Yeah. So you see, no malice. No malice. He just left him. But Drupad, because he had been trained in administration without Krishna consciousness, so he again took it in the wrong way. Sometimes even if you want to help a person, then people don't take it as help. Like some children, they feel that the worst enemies of their life in this world are their parents. Some children feel like that. Very ignorant, Very ignorant. So that's the nature of mode of ignorance anyway. Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says that in the mode of ignorance, person considers help as damage and damage as help. So whatever it is, person considers it the opposite of it. That's the sign of mode of ignorance. So, like if you tell a drunkard don't drink, he'll become very angry, Say what nonsense, So very angry. So he took it so he took it in a way that now he has to take revenge. So Drupad went on to perform tapasya. He wanted a son who will kill Dronacharya. Who will be the Kala for Dronacharya. And he did tapasya with great sincerity. And he got a son. And his son was named Drishtadumna. Drupad's son, Drishtadumna. He was on the side of the Pandavas in the war. So Dronacharya was the other side. Drishtadumna. Now comes the most amazing aspect of this entire episode. Now Drishtadumna was a small child काला बनने के लिए तो थोड़ा फाइट मारना होगा ना, some training has to be done, and this small child is very innocent, was a small child. So everybody wants their children to study in the best school. Everybody wants to get IIT. If they don't get IIT, then NIT. If not NIT, then RIT, BIT, SIT. So many other, so so the IIT of military education those days was Professor Dronacharya's academy. So Drishtadumna sought for admission in Dronacharya's academy. But Dronacharya, knowing that this is my Kala, Dronacharya knowing if this boy, whatever he will learn, he'll use it against me. And even though Dronacharya was knowing all that, he still gave admission to Drishtadumna. And he taught him sincerely to the best of his ability. This is Brahmana. No hatred, no malice. What a strict adherence. He says, I am a teacher, my duty is to teach. Even if that teaching will come as Kala for me, it doesn't matter. At this point of time, my dharma is to teach, and give education. He gave a military education. Beautiful, no? Very powerful. What a character. Yes. Ekalavya story. So Radhisham didn't touch on that? Yeah, so such straightforward personalities or such personalities are always working for the welfare of humanity. Always working for the welfare of humanity. In the Vedic times, importance would be given not just to skill, but to character. Drishtadumna was a personality of good character. Now, from the we don't know so much details, but from whatever is revealed by Mahabharata to us, it seems that Drishtadumna was better than Drupada in terms of character, in terms of following dharma. He's a good personality, and that's why Dronacharya did not hesitate to teach him anything, because to a good character person, you teach him anything, he will use it to good cause. But Ekalavya was not a good character person. So in the Vedic times, the principle of the acharyas was that they would only give education to a qualified person. If they don't find anyone qualified, they will die with that knowledge. They would prefer to die than giving that knowledge to somebody who is unqualified and creating havoc in the world. You know that story there, Panchatantra, that story comes, a king had a monkey as an assistant. And he gave him sword. The monkey said, yes. And the king said, nobody should come inside. Anybody comes inside the room, cut him to pieces. So monkey said, okay. Nobody can come. The king said, okay, I'm going to sleep now. The king was sleeping, snoring. And the monkey was looking around. All of a sudden, he saw on the very nose of the king, there was a mosquito. So immediately he remembered, nobody can come in. Anybody comes in, we cut into pieces. Immediately he took his sword and cut it into pieces. The king nose also got cut. So that is why the acharyas would show character. We will see in Sri Ramayana also. Valmiki Muni, he had the full knowledge of Sri Ramayana. The entire pastimes of the Lord was revealed to him and he wrote Sri Ramayana. This is before Lord Ramachandra even came on the planet and started performing his pastimes. Now, if somebody has that great divine knowledge, how much one will be enthusiastic to teach it? But he was roaming around, he was not finding anybody qualified. And therefore, nobody was getting trained in Sri Ramayana. And finally, he found two Yashasvi, Tejasvi, Ojasvi boys. And he trained them with Sri Ramayana. And then he told them, okay, you have got trained. So now what do? You go all around and preach Sri Ramayana. And these two boys, they became preaching leaders. Very small boys, little boys, very beautiful, effulgent boys. And they were preaching. And they were singing Sri Ramayana, pastimes of Sri Ramayana, and lesson. They were doing 8-session course. Utkarsha camp, Sri Ramayana, Ram Leela, like that. And like that, preaching, they came to Ayodhya Nagari. And Lord Ramachandra himself happened to look at them. He said, oh, nice. Topic is also nice. So Lord Ramachandra said, okay, why don't you come and give the seminar in our Raj Sabha. So that was Ram Darbar. And these two boys, Jai Shri Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Maharani Sudarshan Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. So these two boys are, they are speaking Ramayana in Ram Darbar with Lord Ramachandra himself listening. All the three mothers and Hanumanji and everybody, and they are not knowing who is who. Neither not Ram is knowing, nor these two boys are knowing. Who are these two boys? Love and Kush. Beautiful, no? Very beautiful. So this is this is about qualification. Ekalavya was not a qualified personality. So Ekalavya was not a qualified personality. How do we know that? Dronacharya wanted to test his character. So Ekalavya came to Dronacharya. Dronacharya asked him, hey, you are from Nishada community. This community is, now this Nishada community, the whole community, it was like an Naxalite community, Maoist community. Their motto was to be against the government. And Dronacharya is the personality who is follower of Dharma. So he was always with the government. And now he's testing. See, Dronacharya is testing. He's saying you're from Nishad community. I cannot teach you because your traits are very dangerous for the... If I teach you, you'll become like terrorists. You'll do Pahalgam attack. Now, see, if I teach you, you will do Pahalgam. So therefore, I will not teach you. It is better for you not to learn this Vidya. That's what Dronacharya told him. Now, if Ekalavya would have been of a good character person, you should have followed him. If you accept somebody as Guru and they tell you, don't do this, will we do it? If you have accept somebody as one mother is saying, don't do this with that, should one still do it? No. That's the basic footing of character. Ekalavya bypassed the instruction. He thought, so what if I am not physically? I'll make a statue and I will learn and all that. After some months, again Dronacharya happened to meet him. Now, and he met him and he saw how he met him. Dronacharya was passing by. He saw a dog. And the dog was, his mouth was filled with arrows. The poor dog was bleeding and very helpless. Can't even speak. Because till the throat, the arrows were there. Dronacharya felt so morose. So much, it was such a heart-rending sight. A poor little creature. Which heartless, cruel, barbaric fellow has done this? And there came Ekalavya running with his bow and arrow and said, Gurudev! Dronacharya got shocked. He said, what? You are behind this. And Ekalavya was boasting, see my resume. How expertly, I could, I have hit this dog. That was again confirmation of Dronacharya's test, which he had already understood. This was second confirmation. And okay, this person, he has got little bit he has got expertise, immediately started harming poor innocent creatures. So he understood, he will not only do Pahalgam, he will do WTC also. He will become Pitaji of Bin Laden. He understood because of his traits. A Kshatriya would not learn the Yuddha Kushalta for the sake of exploiting others. Kshatriya would learn the Yuddha Kushalta for the sake of laying down his life to protect and the welfare of others. So he was not a Kshatriya, therefore he was not qualified. So you see his character, and Dronacharya could see that. That is why in the second meeting, Dronacharya asked him, "Oh, you are claiming myself to be Guru, so you will follow whatever I say?" He said, "Yes." And Dronacharya knew he will not follow. In the long run, he is not going to follow. But he said, "Okay, at this point of time, are you going to follow whatever I say?" He said, "Yes." He said, "Okay. And now you will give me Guru Dakshina?" I said, "Yes." "Anything I ask?" He said, "Yes." "Okay, give me your thumb then." Why? Because he would have done so much of, still he was with the Dharmis, but now his power was a little diminished, Ekalavya. Ekalavya was still with the Dharmis, but after his thumb was cut, you got the point why Ekalavya was, Ekalavya was not a good personality. He was like Bin Laden, By the way, Bin Laden was also chemical or something engineer, He was also BTech something, Civil, civil engineer, He was also civil or something. Uh, so very dangerous actually. Wrong person gets, So therefore, J is not sufficient. You know, in evaluating a person, character test has to be taken. So they should include the ISKCON recommendation also. So we'll say, okay, this is not a good personality. Don't give him admission. No, India will be much good. Because like 1-2 years back in Gorakhpur there was some bomb attacks and all. Some chemical engineer from IIT Bombay was involved in the bomb and all that. So just by character we don't understand. Yes.
Didn't teach Karna also for the same reason.
Huh?
Karna also for the same reason. Guru Drona didn't teach Karna for the same reason.
Karna?
Guru Drona didn't refuse to teach Karna.
Did he teach Karna?
No, he refused to teach. When Karna went to him to get education, then he refused to teach Karna. So Karna went to pursue.
Yes, that's true. So now you see, Karna cheated Parshuram in one way. But when Parshuram got to know, then Parshuram, you see what the Lord said. The Lord said, "Okay, you learned everything. When the right moment comes, you'll forget it. My blessings are with you." So the power is meant for service. Power is there is no place of viciousness. There is no place of viciousness, and Vedic culture was very strongly standing by it. Very, very strongly standing by it. So there is no place of viciousness. So this is called as straightforwardness. Absolutely there is no malice. One is completely being driven by the codes of dharma. So here is Dronacharya, when he is seeing that there is danger to the world, he is saying no. Absolutely no malice for anybody. And when he is seeing that, okay, it's the right man, but this man will do right things, but in the way, in between, he will kill me also, the side part of the story. He said, okay, no problem.
There was so much dharmic why he fought from the side of Dharma.
Yeah, that was Krishna's desire actually. Dronacharya also similar to Bhishmadev actually. His profile is similar to Bhishmadev. Bhishmadev, the difference is Bhishmadev is a pure devotee of the Lord. Dronacharya also has an advanced personality. See, by his character we can understand he's an advanced personality. So basically, they had that vow that they will not leave the ruling party. So they were fighting for that cause. So the profile is somewhat similar to Bhishmadev. But Bhishmadev for sure is a Mahabhagavad devotee. And Dronacharya is an advanced personality. At least that much we know. Any other reference about? At least we know he's an advanced personality. I mean, that is evident from the character. But explicitly we don't know about the deep devotion. Bhishmadev to Viryarasa, na? Viryarasa. So, but Dronacharya, at least on the basis of some moralistic ground, that okay, let me be loyal, let me be obedient, to the king and the king's side and all that. So he was continuing. Yes, actually, the Lord is showing multiple lessons in this also. On one side, the Lord is showing that okay, morality is not enough. The morality is not enough. So, but he's a quite an upright personality, Dronacharya. Now, the second point is, the second aspect of simplicity. The first one we understood, straightforwardness. That is S. Now, the second one we can remember them. In simple, IM stands for implicit faith. That's the second quality. Implicit faith in Krishna. Implicit faith in Krishna. Which means what? It means always abiding by the Lord's instructions in all circumstances. Good times, bad times. Holding on to Krishna's instructions all the times. That is called as implicit faith. We see the example of Srila Prahlad Maharaj. So, now if we see Prahlad Maharaj is demonstrating a most difficult situation. He is practicing Krishna consciousness in the most unfavorable ground to prove to us that if we want to practice Krishna consciousness, then it doesn't matter which ground we are on, we will still practice. So you see, his father was doing such a frenzied murder, cascade of murder attempts. For what? For what? For Prahlad Maharaj chanting Hare Krishna. No, here we are chanting very peacefully, anybody troubling? No? Sometimes the mosquitoes may trouble, sometimes no power cut may trouble. No? I think one day there was power cut, the night, the very first day. No? So, but otherwise it's very peaceful. No? There may be a little heat here and there, in between rain comes cold. There are no much problems. For Prahlad Maharaj, who was for chanting Hare Krishna, people were murdering him, attempting to murder him. So, will you continue to chant or not? He said, yes, okay, take this, so daggers and whatnots, elephants and snakes and mountain and sea and everything. Prahlad Maharaj did not complain to Krishna. What is this? What kind of God you are? No? कुछ तो reciprocate करो, शर्म नहीं आता है ना? So he didn't, he has so many problems, Prahlad Maharaj didn't say, okay, now these in voice they take people for Utkarsha camp, they feed so nice prasad, and what you are giving, O Lord, I directly connected because I thought, I will get direct lot, oceanic Mahaprasad, like that, but I am getting murder attempts, on me. So Prahlad Maharaj didn't complain. Why? Because of this implicit faith. Implicit faith in Krishna, that whatever Krishna is arranging, whatever situation is coming in my life, it is being arranged by Krishna. And because it is being arranged by Krishna and Krishna's sanction is there, somewhere or the other, ultimately it will be for my benefit. So, no problem in accepting. Even if it means death, even if it means trouble. That was Prahlad's consciousness. What a beautiful consciousness. This consciousness is the consciousness of Sharanagati. That a devotee understands Krishna may not protect my body, Krishna may not protect my bank balance, Krishna may not protect my land and assets, but Krishna will protect my consciousness. Come what may. Therefore, no problem. Any situation. So we see in the pages of Srimad Bhagavatam, we see Parikshit Maharaj, the king, is roaming around, and Parikshit Maharaj is seeing this bull, and this bull is being very badly treated, and his two legs are cut off. Two legs, three legs are cut off. Three are cut off. Three are cut off. Three legs are cut off, and that bull is moaning in pain. Parikshit Maharaj could not even see that sight. And he was wondering which demoniac personality had done this. Immediately, Parikshit Maharaj took out his swords. Who is that demoniac personality? I'll chop him off as long as. And Parikshit Maharaj became so agitated. And Parikshit Maharaj says, so what if the Mahabhagavat, the Pandavas, they have left. Their one insignificant servant is still there, and as long as the servant is alive, adharma cannot stay. Where is that adharma? And Parikshit Maharaj is asking the bull, speak up. Please speak up. Please speak up. नाम बता दो बस. Google coordinates दे दो बस. है ना? टुकड़े भी नहीं बचेंगे, है ना? या तो उसके मेरे, so that was the point. The Kshatriya blood, है ना? Like then Parikshit said, as long as I am alive, I cannot tolerate adharma, no? The sword was out, and he was about to go, no? And Parikshit Maharaj is asking the bull, no? Who has done this to you? And the bull is not naming. You know? See the Vedic culture. The bull is not naming. The bull is not naming, the bull is not blaming. The bull is saying everything what happens is because of our own karma. And the bull is silent. The bull says, I think, this is, there is nothing more to speak about this. Nothing more to speak about this. Parikshit Maharaj is offering obeisance to the bull. The bull is not naming. So the bull is in pain. The bull is not naming the perpetrator. Because the Vedic culture, because the bull is depicting, okay, this problem and atrocity is happening. It is being sanctioned by Krishna. It will be for my good. Maybe, my past sinful activities are getting purified. Or Krishna is giving me a token. So why should I have any vengeance towards the instrument of my karma? Towards the instrument of my karma. Implicit faith. What an amazing, what an amazing character. And Parikshit Maharaj is dazzled, and he's, obviously he finds out later that it is Kaliraj, that black guy, and then immediately he's ready to behead him, Parikshit Maharaj. But the bull did not name it. No, this is the divine bull. It was a divine bull actually, So either he knew the human language or Parikshit Maharaj knew the other language. Sometimes in movies they show that somebody, some great hero, he knows the language of the snakes and the languages, and we say, oh, what a nice hero, like that. Parikshit Maharaj is actually hero, so nothing to worry. The exchange of information was not a problem. Parikshit Maharaj had his modalities, because those were his citizens. So he would catch their pulse. How, what decoder, encoder network he would use, Parikshit Maharaj had his systems, so nothing to worry about that. So, but nothing to worry about that. But this was a scene. 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam also. We see the life of Avadut Brahmana. Oh, he was a great Avadut. He was a great God-dependent soul. Ah. Previously, he was a very nefarious personality, a very pounds and shillings merchant, very, very conjuice, makichus, and khadus, like that type of personality. But times changed. He lost his wealth. He lost his wealth. His friend, when you lose wealth, friends become enemies. Family members throw you out. That's what happened. Well, they thought, okay, little bit is remaining. Whatever. Let us keep that and throw this fellow off. Otherwise, his debts. Whatever we have, that also will go away. So they threw him off. Now, when he was out, now he thought, okay, so he got realizations. That okay, I dedicated my whole life to wealth, and I thought, I'm in the most best situation with so many loving friends and all. Now I've seen the face of this world. Now I just surrendered to God. So he became completely, dependent on nature, on God. He became very realized. But now he was like a sannyasi. Avadut is like a sannyasi, a very high grade sannyasi. He was completely depending on nature, completely depending on God. People would mistreat him. Wherever he would walk, people would make a joke of him. Sometimes children would throw stones at him also. But later, Avadut Brahman is being asked that what is the cause of your suffering? And he's saying, my uncontrolled mind is the cause of my suffering. There is no other cause of suffering. Very beautiful instructions on mind. He gives. Comes in 11th canto very beautifully. So this is called a simplicity, having that faith in God. That no problem. So this is very much contradictory to. So this is a very great lesson that we should not just be a fair weather devotee. Only if 10 item Mahaprasad is being given, then we chant 16 rounds. It should not be like that. So, and we say, okay, Prabhu. So the Prabhu, the facilitator has come and he's asking, okay, आज माला किया, माला करने वाले हैं आज आप. He's saying, ठीक है, आज पनीर सब्जी देने वाले हैं क्या? तब करूँगा. So it should not be we should not be a fair weather devotee. That only if everything is very nice, then we are a devotee. When some problem happens, the first thing to sublimate is devotion. No, it should not be like that. Devotion is a line on rock. Come what may. Good times, bad times. Krishna consciousness all the times. That requires simple heart, simple faith in Krishna. And yes, ups and downs will happen. Ultimately, ups and downs happen with the Pandavas also. Ultimately what? Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna, Yatra Partha Dhanandara, Tatra Shri Vijaya Bhutir. Victory and opulence is always going to follow when we are dedicated and devoted to Krishna. This is implicit faith. This is simplicity of heart. Not that so we don't become restless. We don't become restless. A devotee should not become restless. We don't become agitated. We don't become fruited with the practice of Krishna consciousness. One just holds on to Krishna consciousness. And when there are troubled times, one tolerates without giving up one's anchor on Krishna. Srila Prabhupada explains the example of a boat in a river having a storm. Then if the boat is not anchored properly, the boat will be thrown off. Morning, the boatman will come, no boat will be there because the night was a storm. So the boatman anchors very strongly the boat to a rock. Now the boat will waver here, there, will not be thrown off. Why? The anchor is very strong. Like that, our anchor should be with the devotees. Like that, our anchor should be in the voice, in the temple. That come what may. You know, whatever we do, we'll keep doing parikrama of the voice only. Means we'll be going around the voice, not go much too far off track from the devotee association. When this is the commitment, and that is called as implicit faith. So, not that any trouble comes and devotee says, "Prabhu, ye lo mala, baad mein karta hu." No? Right now I'm doing firefighting with the trouble. No? Implicit faith. So one of the limbs of Shanagati also says that the Shanagati has six aspects in it. One of them is Avashya Rakshibe Krishna Iti Vishwasamala. That Krishna will ultimately protect. What? Not our bank balance. No? Not our CGPA. No? May or may not. No? No. Not our body strength. No? Our 6 peg, 8 peg, 4 peg, if it is there. No? Not our body, but our consciousness. No? This is called as implicit faith. So one who is having implicit faith is not disturbed. Like if superficially one tries to see the case of Prahlad Maharaj, one will say that Prahlad Maharaj's father is being murdered and Prahlad is not disturbed. Why not disturbed? Because Lord Narasimha is present. Prahlad is knowing that it is auspicious. My father is getting purified of his sinful proclivities. And by the touch of the Lord is getting purified. He'll have an auspicious future. And therefore Prahlad is ready to garland, waiting for Lord Narasimhadev. He is waiting in the garland. So he wants to garland Lord Narasimhadev. Small child, he cannot reach unless Lord Narasimhadev himself comes down. So he is waiting to garland the Lord. And so he is not disturbed. So one who is having faith in Krishna, such a person will not be disturbed. So when we realize that there is disturbance in our heart owing to situation, what we should do? We should strengthen our anchor. Immediately we should come to devotees. Immediately we should take guidance from devotees. Immediately we should intensify our Krishna conscious practice. Then we will be able to tolerate it. One should not give up. Now then comes the third aspect of simplicity. So in the word simple, the last 3 letters, PLE, stand for the third aspect. PLE stands for being pleased with whatever Krishna provides. The third aspect of simplicity is about accessories, artifacts, belongings, things. Being pleased with whatever Krishna provides means what? Being pleased with the bare minimum also. Easily whatever Krishna gives. Easily whatever Krishna gives. Say one is having a simple life. One is not attached to the luxuries and comforts and complicated gadgets in one's life and razzle and dazzle in one's life. And life can be very, very serene. Like we went to Mayapur. In Mayapur, you saw the international devotees in Mayapur. So many international devotees from various different countries who stay. More than 5,000 families are staying from all over the world. Russia, Hungary, and so on, many places. Now, materially speaking, Mayapur is a village. Is it not? Materially speaking, did you find any malls there? Any much big? Temple is very big. The Lord deities are very big, but what else did you find big? The devotee's heart was very big. Is it not? But externally, if you see all around, it's a village. Mayapur is a village, a very profound village. So these 5,000 families are staying there in Mayapur, many of them. So they are staying simple. They may be staying in a flat. Obviously, as compared to Calcutta, it will be cheaper. To get a flat in Mayapur. And lifestyle will also be cheaper. The vegetables, everything very cheap. So and you don't need a bench there. Mayapur, what do we need? At max cycle. Max to max scooty. Max to max. More than that, not required much. It's a very simple, very natural, but very profound lifestyle. Many of these devotees, these Western devotees, what they do, they go to their home countries for 2 months or 3 months a year. In those 2 months, 3 months, they earn, they get some money, they earning, like that. And 9 months, then they come to Mayapur, they are practicing Krishna consciousness, chanting, dancing, rendering services, and nice life, a nice life, Why? Because they are not attached to the razzle and dazzle. People think, I want to go to America, Americans are going to Mayapur, so you see the point, so so we think, okay, taking green card is some very great, sign of greatness. Jayapataka Maharaj was an American, he took Indian citizenship. Prabhupada told him to do, So you see the point. There's nothing. So they are leading a very simple life, because of which, you see, when a person is there in Mayapur, very profound life. Like if you're staying in Bombay city, sometimes even if you want to sleep at, the whole environment, maybe, rock music is going on, pop music is going on. Mayapur, you see 8 o'clock, everything was, so the atmosphere, the devotee culture there promotes mode of goodness. Many devotees in Mayapur chant 32 rounds. You may be thinking 16 rounds difficult, How they chant? 16 rounds before Mangalarti, 16 rounds after Mangalarti. 9 o'clock they take prasad and they start working. 8-9 hours they do services. And then they come back in the evening, they read Bhagavatam and they attend temple evening program and all that. And they take rest by 8:30, 9 o'clock. Get up at 1:30. 8:30, 1:30, 6 hours. 5 hours. 8 o'clock maybe. So they sleep early, get up early. Like that. Very amazing, no? Very amazing. So there are some devotees who even chant 64 rounds every day and still do 4-5 hour services. Similar algorithm, 16 rounds before Mangalarti, 16 rounds, so 11-12 o'clock their rounds are done. From 12 o'clock to 6 o'clock again they do service. वो सिक्सर मारते हैं फिर 64 राउंड उसके बाद सिक्सर very profound life, God centric profound life, they may be looking very simple, they may be looking very simple, they're wearing simple dhoti kurta and going around, walking around in a cycle, but look at the commitment of devotional service. Mayapur, many devotees are like that. Some devotees come for 6 months, and they lead this kind of life, and 6 months they go to their country and preach, and next time get 10 more people with them. They're like that also. So being pleased with whatever Krishna provides, being pleased with the basic minimum, because so if we get attached to these things, it hooks the mind, and one mind cannot go beyond it. It entangles the mind. And then what will happen? The fervor for Krishna consciousness doesn't come about. The fervor is there in gadgets. The fervor is there in luxury, comfort. When sitting in Mayapur, one is thinking AC. AC Bhakti Vedanta Swami hai, AC क्यों मांग रहे हैं? मिल गया तो ठीक है, we can be grateful. नहीं मिला तो कम से कम ऐसी भक्ति स्वामी देर should be happy, is it not? So that requires simplicity, and this algorithm simplicity is about no attachments, no hankering after these material commodities. Like this weekend, Radhesham Prabhu was telling, purpose of clothes is to cover the body. So we can take simple clothes to cover the body. Body to cover करना है ना. But if we wear brands, life becomes complicated. Cloth means okay, 300 rupees, 300 rupees, so 700-800 you can get, 1 year it can last, 2 such pairs, 2000 rupees you can last 1 year, clothing, is it not? Brand means 5,000, 10,000, is it not? Brand, brand. So he said brand is for, what Prabhu was saying there? Brand is for impressing others, no? Now I am wearing a brand, no? I'm wearing this brand, that brand, no? So unnecessarily life becomes complicated. So unnecessarily life becomes complicated. Like I remember my brother, now he's become a devotee, standing 16 hours. He and his wife, they're giving very good. But that time, so I remember he had got a job. So his salary was some 30,000, and that month his expense was 1 lakh. First month. I called him to check how much you gave to the parents, your first month salary, or what you gave, So he didn't say anything. He said, I'm try kar raha hu, it's in the process, I'll give, Then I was chastising him, nonsense, he didn't give anything, What is this culture, And later I called the parents. So then they told me, give nahi hua, take hua, minus 70, How much he gave to parent? Minus 70, because he did not manage the expense. Why? Because he was very attached to brands, तो एक चप्पल भी 4,000 का, चप्पल में क्या है, एक रॉक्स ही लेना है, so that is so then what happens, the mind is always the mind will never come out of it, and one cannot fervently chant Krishna's name. Mind is gets so hooked. So therefore high thinking is only possible when there is simple living. One has to reduce one's needs. And therefore Bhagavatam explains kamasya na indriya priti na bhu jiveta yavata jivasya tattva jigyasa artho ardhaya kalpate. So one should not feed the senses too much. Because too much the senses are fed. Now how much one should work towards the senses? Only that much which is required to keep the body and soul together, just to remain alive. That much work hard is good enough. One will say, but we have so much energy. Yes, and that extra energy should be used for Krishna's mission. That extra energy should be used for Krishna's mission. So you see, there are two ways of becoming rich. One is to get a lot of money. To get a lot of money, one has to struggle a lot, foam in the mouth, bleed, bloodshed, a lot of problems. The second is to reduce one's needs. But how much we earn does not matter. Even in monetary terms, how much we earn does not matter. How much we save is what matters. Is it not? तो सेव करने के 2 तरीके होते हैं, या तो ज्यादा पैसा आ जाए, लेकिन जब ज्यादा पैसा आता है और माइंड अनकंट्रोल्ड है तो डिजायर भी बढ़ते हैं. पैसा बढ़ता है अर्थमेटिक प्रोग्रेशन, डिजायर्स बढ़ते हैं एक्सपोनेंशियली. तो अल्टीमेटली द पर्सन बिकम्स पुअरर, क्योंकि when money was not there, the desires were very less. Now money is this much, but desires are Mount Everest. So ultimately, poor fellow has to take debt, and and go and survive, like that. Very dangerous, very dangerous. So therefore, the desires have to be controlled. One should be very happy with the bare minimum. Bare minimum. Then one will be able to think of Krishna. When Krishna's thought, then samadhi is possible. So dharana, dhyan, samadhi, dharana, to grab onto Krishna, we have to give up the gadgets. The attachment to the gadgets. The attachment to luxuries and comfort. Bhagavatam explains, second canto, very beautiful. There is this beautiful series of verses. Bhagavatam is explaining what is the need of a villa. Many times they say, river facing villa, price starts from 10 crores. Book your villa, next to the Ganges facing villa and all that. So they say, Bhagavatam says, what is the need of purchasing a 10 crore villa, a 5 crore villa? In the earth there are so many trees, you can sit and sleep under any tree. Bhagavatam says, what is the need of having a luxury bed? Earth is there, very soft ground. Anywhere you can lie down on earth and take rest, no problem. Krishna has provided space very nicely. Bhagavatam says, what is the need of a pillow? One's arm is good enough. One can put one's head on one's arm and sleep. So what is Bhagavatam promoting? Is it promoting a poverty-stricken life? No, it is promoting simplicity. What Bhagavatam is saying is that for intensity of bhakti, for the intensity of bhakti to nucleate, the upholding of this principle of simplicity is required. When the heart is in this way simple, then one can chant. Then there will be dharana. One will be able to catch on to Krishna. Like people grab onto money, hey money, hey, like that they grab onto money. Like that one will be able to grab onto Krishna's lotus feet. How nice, no? So that's the point. Then there will be dharana. Then there will be dhyan. Then one's chitta will be always magna at the lotus feet of the Lord, the holy glories of the Lord. And then one will be samadhi. Samadhi means absorption. Samadhi means nothing can shake. Nothing can shake. There's a beautiful example of is given. Who is he? This great devotee. Who is he? Is Sudama. Is Sudama, So his wife is telling, hey, why don't you get some funds? Sudama is thinking, I'm already very wealthy. Why? I have Krishna Namdhan. Krishna Namdhan. And she is chanting. So wife is Vyakul. She is anxiety and restless. So he is very peaceful. Saying, no problem. All we need is Krishna's holy names. So he's very... So when such a person is there, it's not that Krishna will take everyone on a very poverty-stricken route. He gave Sudama immense wealth. But Sudama was not affected by wealth. Why? Because when there was no wealth, then also he was not affected. That is why when wealth came, he was not affected also. Is it not? So this is, how can we become unaffected, unattached? Only when one has having or cultivating simplicity. So Sudama was attached to Krishna, not to facilities. Therefore, even if those facilities came to him, he still didn't got attached, didn't got intoxicated. That's the point. When one is in such a state, if Krishna happens to give wealth, then one can use it in Krishna's service. And one can use it in Krishna's service. One doesn't get attached. One doesn't become corrupt. So this is that great quality of simplicity. Simple living, high thinking. So essentially, we cover three aspects of simplicity. What was the first one? Straightforwardness. The second one? Implicit faith in Krishna, that whatever Krishna is arranging is best for me. And the third one is peace. Be satisfied and happy with the bare minimum. Bare minimum. So devotee should be like that. Such is the attitude. then no, nothing can shake us from our fixity in Krishna consciousness. Nothing can shake us. But when there are these kinds of attachments, then we get caught up and we loosen the focus on the Krishna. Let's stop here for today. Hari Bol. So, do we have any questions? One or two questions? Can you take yes? Who? Duryodhana. Oh, so was Duryodhana a good person initially, later degraded, or who was he? That's the question.
Why was it? Why did Duryodhana what are it called?
Oh, why did he teach here? No, he was better in character at least to Ekalavya. If you see, because he did follow some principles at least. He was demoniac, but he did follow some principles at least. So, in Ekalavya was outright, the suicide bomber, the suicide bomber, Ekalavya was like that, So that's why he was taught. Anyways, he was coming from a good lineage. Uh, Many times, actually, the Vedic times, they would also give preference to lineage and try to teach good things with the hope that these people will improve, even if they have some discrepancies. Only when they are outright convinced that okay, this person has no hope and scope, then they would reject. But otherwise, even as a Brahmana, they would try to help. So yes, Duryodhana was showing devilish kind of attitudes, but then still here the case was that okay, they were being there. An attempt was being made to resurrect them. An attempt was being made because their lineage was not bad. The Bhishma Dev's lineage only, no. Bhishma Dev's lineage only. So they're from Bhishma Dev's lineage. No, Pandu and Duryodhana. I mean Dhritarashtra. Lineage was not bad. The lineage was very good. So the Shantanu Maharaj's further lineage. So the sons of Vichitra Virya, and who is the other? Chitrangada. Vichitra. They are the sons of Vichitra Virya and Chitrangada. We are through Vyasadeva. So lineage was very good actually, but then Dhritarashtra became a was a nefarious fellow. So there was an attempt which was being made to purify them. We see this in Bhagavatam again. It comes. Anga Maharaj is a pure devotee of the Lord. His son Vena is a pure demon. Both pure but pure opposites. The son was a great demon. How do we know that? His son would be playing with his friend while playing. He would kill them. The psychopath kind of personality. Sometimes in movies they show the person is killing and deriving pleasure very ghastly. And this person was like that. But his father tried to help him. The Brahmanas tried to help him. They even made him king. They thought that okay, if we encourage him, then he may become open to hear. Okay, we give him a chance. But they said, please follow the principles of dharma. He said, okay. They were made king. But then he didn't follow. And they understood that he is not following, he is becoming very dangerous. And the Brahmanas killed him. How they killed him? Very interesting. They just chanted some mantras with the hunkar, they killed him. Off he went. So Brahmana is very powerful also. So in one sense, so they were making an attempt because of his lineage, that okay, he's from such a high lineage, maybe we can try to help him out. So sometimes their help becomes good, sometimes the help doesn't become good. So like Kashyap Muni, Diti is having dangerous thoughts, she's having thoughts to kill Indra, murder Indra, Diti, she's feeling very bad, Diti. Now Kashyap Muni didn't kill her, he's saying, murder for murder, so you want to become murderer, first let me only murder you. He didn't kill her, he said, okay, maybe I can treat her, maybe I can help her. So he gave her, okay, you want to kill Indra? I'll teach you one tapasya. You have to exactly follow. She said, yes, 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 I'll follow. Everything I'll follow. He said, it is very complicated. He said, no problem, I'm JU qualified. No? I'll follow. He said, okay, see if there is any discrepancy in that, then instead of getting a son which will kill Indra, you will get a son who will be friends of Indra and subservient to Indra. No? She said, okay. So, Kashyapa Muni gave a very, very elaborate, complicated process called as Pumsavana Yagya. She said, you perform that. Pumsavana Vrata. One small detail. She was following for many months. One day she forgot. One point. So, her sons, instead of being the Kala for Indra, they became friends and subservient to Indra, the Maruts. 40 of them, was like that. So, he treated her.
But so many points like diplomacy and no expectation. And when we tend to apply in our life, and it becomes a little difficult focusing on expectation, no expectation. Prabhuji, we live in a structured setting, like in voice or in life. We live in a managed atmosphere, and we are expected to do something, and some other are also expected to do something. Like in Kasha Hall, it is supposed to be well managed. Like Swamiji is coming, then stage should be ready. So we are constrained to be like expected for ourselves or other selves also. And when expectation is not fulfilled for any reason, and if we see like a very bad mismanagement, like for such senior devotee, and this mismanagement, we become like distressed or disappointment. Uh, and probably due to our anarthas, when we got to know like we have also this, it is a little painful. And sometimes that feeling can be displayed in some other emotion also. It is said that anger is the easiest emotion one can display. Disappointment or some hankering, bad hankering, and it is displayed in some other form also. Then we are little distressed that anger come in our mind, our anarthas. So, is there any specific cure or medicine for it that we can like?
Yes. We have to learn to see things in a spiritual way. So say, let's come to our needs, our own needs. So we are here in voice. So everyone has certain, so in general, we are having some expectation. So in general, there is some facilitation. Now, that okay, in the morning we come, break, like we just chant our rounds and attend class, process ready. So we don't have to worry, होगा नहीं, पता लगा भागने के बाद पूरी सब्जी काटना पड़ रहा है ना. So that kind of scene is not there. There is expectation, like that. We go for HW, come back, prasad is again there. So, so in general things happen, but then so when things are being facilitated, we should feel grateful. We should cultivate gratitude. How we cultivate gratitude? When we in our heart are thinking that actually I don't deserve this, but devotees are very merciful. They are giving me. Ideally, I am supposed to serve them. I am supposed to cook and feed all the Prabhus. Like that we should feel. Not that, hey, मैं आया हूँ 10,000 रुपए देके खिलाओ मुझे ना. So then that is a material expectation. Such a person will be frustrated. So because but if one feels, so I don't deserve all this. And then I say, oh, they are giving me 10 items. I don't deserve 2 items also. They are giving me 10 items. The devotee is very great. So we take it with gratitude. Then what will happen is, so when we understand, when we feel I don't deserve it, when it is coming, we are very grateful. Suppose some discrepancy comes, we say, okay, no problem. Like suppose one day you are working a little late in the lab. By the time you come here, you are seeing sweet is finished. There was mango shake prasad with ice that also got finished. There was shahi paneer, now big paneer, like that. That also got finished. Uh, Now only little bit rice is remaining, and Karela sabji is remaining, So, and that is also not fried, but it's just boiled, it's not fried, So, enjoy. Happy with it. So, how will you feel, And we came all the way cycling at 42 degrees, ऐसा अभी तक नहीं हुआ है 42 यहाँ पे 35 37 में अटक जाता है 38 तक, like that. Or suppose 42 degree heat one has come, completely drenched, and all to see that there is only white rice and some Karela. Interestingly, another day उतना भी नहीं होगा, हो सकता है ऐसा situation, like that, So if such a scene comes, then we have no expectation, or when we are thinking, okay, I didn't deserve it, then one gets, okay, Krishna is so merciful, at least, sabji prasad hai, rice prasad hai, साथ में water prasad और add कर देते हैं, आराम से खाते हैं, is it not, like that, so one can feel grateful, is it not? Saying now with power Radha Krishna गुण गाओ, है कि नहीं? राधा कृष्ण के गुण केवल पनीर प्रसाद खाते खाते थोड़ी गा सकते हैं, वो करेला और प्रणव प्लेन राइस के साथ भी गा सकते हैं, इस बात हरे कृष्ण को कैसे भी गा सकते हैं, इस बात और ultimately one can understand, no problem, ultimately this belly has to be quieted, so that I can refocus on my service back, anything Krishna has taken, well, Krishna has eaten, Krishna didn't cry, then who are we to cry, so therefore if we see it as prasad, we can take anything, so we can be very happy. Suppose सब कुछ खत्म हो गया, no problem, भगवान ने इतना बड़ा किचन दिया है नीचे, इधर ना लो, you cook anything, वन में से नहीं आता, इतने सारे प्रभु दिए, किसी भी पूछ लो, इधर ना लो, that's why, so that's why in KGP secretary only we teach all our devotees, भाई कोई प्रसाद खत्म भी हो गया तो भी कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, खुशी खुशी बनाओ, बाकी भक्तों को भी खिलाओ जो आगे आने वाले हैं, like that, परेशान मत हो जाओ, isn't that? So the foolproof mechanism to be ecstatic, isn't that? So in this way we have to train ourselves to think in this way, because if we don't think in this way, then we will be very miserable, unnecessarily miserable, unnecessarily miserable. So we make ourselves dependent on so expectations have to be, we have to work on our expectations, and it is possible to work on expectations, and we can be immediately ecstatic. So therefore Krishna consciousness is not about expecting, but Krishna consciousness is about understanding others' needs and fulfill that. Krishna consciousness is about service attitude, not expectation. मुझे क्या मिल रहा है? So Krishna consciousness is not about मुझे क्या मिल रहा है. Krishna consciousness is about मैं भक्तों को क्या दे पा रहा हूँ. What service I offered to the devotees today? That's really the question. That is the question ringing on in the mind of a sincere devotee. And therefore such a devotee is looking for service. So such a person comes for prasad, and he says, prasad is less. And I know there are 5 devotees who are coming behind me in cycle, So I will be more concerned about them कि उनके लिए प्लेट बना देता हूँ पहले, मेरे लिए कुछ नहीं बचा चलेगा, लेकिन भक्तों को जो है अच्छा मिल जाना चाहिए, is it not? So that is the consciousness, then one can be ecstatic. Then this Maya will not act on us, one will become immune to Maya Shakti. It's possible by training, It's possible by training. So that's why we should cultivate gratitude. That's why we should reduce our need. अरे मुझे कुछ नहीं चाहिए, Is it not, So you feel so that like suppose one is having expectation है STW में single room मिलेगा with AC, बड़ा cushion होना चाहिए, ना बड़ा, so that way then one frustrated, ये क्या है, but one is saying ठीक है मुझे कितना space चाहिए, 2.5 feet by 5.6 feet बस, किधर भी मिल जाए, good enough, then one will be ecstatic, then one will be excited. So one is having spiritual consciousness, then one will be ecstatic, Like one time there was nobody in the voice, only Devahuti was there, because she had to come for her hospital service. So then I was telling her there should be somebody in the building. Then they go the this neighboring Mataji is there, So she has a home, They own that whole building, They have bed everything and all that, She was so ecstatic. She said, "Arey, mera fortune, आज मंदिर में सोने को मिलेगा, ना?" So she very jumping up and down. She came and slept in the temple hall with Devavati here, that Mataji, This is simple heart, The grateful heart, So they're having AC, they're having generator, everything they have. Their own home, She's coming here and sleeping simple in the temple hall because she's feeling it. मंदिर में सोने को मिलता है, जय जगन्नाथ, She's happy, So the heart is simple, so it's possible to train. So that's why now to be able to follow this, that's why we should do sadhana. That's why one round is not sufficient. You have to chant more. That's why everyday Mangalarti is required. That's why everyday Bhagavatam is required. Not so big, for this is our VTW time, at least a little bit. So every day strong Krishna conscious. By Krishna conscious spiritual strength, we can see things spiritually. Good, na? Beautiful, na? हर चीज फ्यूल पे चलता है ना, स्पिरिचुअल विजन स्पिरिचुअल फ्यूल से आती है. एवरीथिंग रन्स ऑन फ्यूल, ना? सो द स्पिरिचुअल ड्राइव करने के लिए स्पिरिचुअल फ्यूल चाहिए, है ना? मेटेरियल फ्यूल से नहीं होता है ना. So therefore our IIT NIT degree CGP doesn't work, To see things spiritually we need sadhana, we need association. When we do that, it's possible to train ourselves, and if we can train ourselves, we can become ecstatic, But one who is complex and duplicitous, such a person will be fully static. Hare Krishna. So we'll take the second quality in the next class, because the second one was non-violence. So if I start speaking about violence, all of you will become violent. So there is no point in speaking about non